Hello from Doha with me, Shaun, Custis and Charlie Wyett, where it's a very, very big game day. You'll see a few Welsh fans about behind us. They're off the game against Iran. And tonight, it's England against the USA. And Charlie here is going to tell us how we're absolutely going to splosh them.
I'm not sure about that, Shaun. I think England will win. Brilliant confidence from the other night. I think everyone back home enjoyed it. We certainly enjoyed it in the ground, didn't we?
Yeah,
it was a very sort of un-England-like performance for an opening game. America are going to be much more difficult. It'll be a tight game. As Gareth Southgate said yesterday, never ever beaten them in the major tournament. It'll be tight. England will win, I think, 1-0, 2-0. I think we'll be happy with that.
Oh, I get a bit sick of all this. Oh, let's not get carried away. Come on, let's get on board. It's 6-2. We're going all the way, aren't we?
I think England could win the World Cup. Yeah, I do. Yeah, really do.
Even though we've seen Spain, France, Brazil to worry us.
Look, you know, they'll might be saying the same about England, maybe not. But look, that team that we've been speaking to in the last week is confident. They're all talking about winning the World Cup. They've come close in the last tournament, and yeah, there's a real belief there. And as we've seen in other tournaments, there'll be one or two big teams go out in the group stages. Everyone plots this chart, don't they, before the World Cup? Well, we'll be playing France then or Germany then. It never happens like that.
Well, you say that, but I mean, Tony Adams in our paper was saying how we should already be thinking about facing France in the quarterfinals and almost gearing some of the tactics to that, because you have to get it together gradually as you go, so you're ready for the big test.
Well, I think you have to be ready for your test, because whoever you play in the quarterfinals has done pretty well. But I don't think there's any guarantee who you're going to play. As I said, Germany could get knocked out in the group stages. France could have a nightmare. Let's not forget, they've had a good opening game eventually. They're missing a lot of players still, and that could bite them on the backside eventually. So I think England seem to be in a really good place, been quite fortunate with injuries, bit of a scare over Harry Kane. But
can you explain that? It was thought it would be his ankle, but apparently it's not his ankle. It's not the old injury.
No, it's not. It's the top of his foot. So I think there was an impact injury.
Well, just a little bit bruised.
A little bit bruised. He's got a bit of strapping yesterday. It also means, of course, stating the obvious, that because it's not his ankle and it's a joint, it's an impact injury. So he'll probably avoid doing too many shots with the top of his boots. But I think that's fine. He had a brilliant performance, I thought, the other night, and it's an interesting talking point, Shaun, because back home he seems to be getting quite a lot of sticks again for not scoring, where it's probably his best England tournament game, certainly his best game where he hasn't scored the other night. But there seems to be quite a few people in England that just still having a go at him, which I find quite baffling, to be honest.
Maybe we just expect higher standards from him. We expect goals and assists and everything. Yeah. Isn't that the nature of your star player?
I think you could be right, but there's always this debate about whether he's better than Shearer or how good he is. And well, I think so. Yeah.
No, never better than Big Al. Surely not.
Yeah, Shearer's great. Obviously a great player. I think Harry Kane statistically will soon be the best striker we've ever had. I think he is the best striker we've ever had, just by his all-round game. Very lucky to have him, and that's why they've got a chance of getting into the World Cup final. You need these big players. We've got more like Bellingham coming through and Foden when he gets a proper chance, but ultimately you need that striker. We've got him, and going back to the criticism again, even when he won the Golden Boot last time, people were saying it's only penalties, but you still have to score them. Other players haven't, so I do find it ridiculous, but that's just some England fans for you.
Another guy who gets quite a lot of stick is Harry Maguire, your old mate. You're a bit of a defender of his, and he was yesterday pretty bullish, wasn't he, about his own form and feeling very confident of this World Cup?
Yeah, I don't think do you have to be a defender of someone that, of course, he's had a terrible season with Man United. Yeah. Wasn't a great season last year. Was in the Euro 20 team of the tournament with Raheem Sterling and Kyle Walker, and they came in injured as well. England, as we know, they're embarrassing in the Nations League in June. I know it was only the Nations League. Harry was our best defender. The one game he didn't start was when we got walloped 4-0 by Hungary. So he's played well for England, and I actually thought he played well the other night until he started to feel unwell. Obviously caught out for the goal, but if you're struggling with illness, so that's probably one reason. The only strange thing, Shaun, was the fact that they think it was dehydration.
Yeah.
Players shouldn't be getting dehydrated.
No.
Not a modern day player.
That is something to be concerned about. Another thing to be concerned about is what the USA have to offer in attack. Now, look, we know that Pulisic hasn't had a great time at Chelsea now, but he is capable occasionally of turning it on. And could this be the night when he turns it on? Could we get caught out?
Well, it could be. As Southgate said after the game, there are a few defensive issues he wasn't very happy with. United States will be lifted by that. They'll be looking to find a few holes, particularly around central midfield and maybe out towards Luke Shaw when he's got forward. And there's a bit of space there. But look, England will fancy themselves. I think the United States are a promising team. They're an emerging team. I think there's some way off yet from going deep at a major tournament. And I see what Gareth Southgate says about them being highly ranked, as were Iran, as are Wales. But if you're going to go deep into the World Cup, you've got to beat these teams. Certainly not lose. That's the key. Don't lose. No. Be cautious. I know everyone wants to see the Harlem Globetrotters for every England game.
Yes, come on.
Yeah, exactly.
Attack.
Yeah, that's why England never got past the quarterfinals of the Golden Generation, wasn't it? Yeah. Whereas, France at times were pretty dull at the World Cup 4 years ago. So were Germany 4 years before that. Portugal won Euro 2016. They didn't even win a group stage game. So I think people need to just relax a bit and not expect England to absolutely blow everybody away. In many respects, they made a rub for their own back now by doing this against Iran.
Oh, good. To hell with that. We're going to get 5 tonight. That's what I reckon. Anyway, it's a massive night tonight for England. Here's to another 3 points.